Hey, what's going on YouTube? Fellow drivers, Sebastian here with Spin Driving School. And in this video, we are going to take a look at lane changes, mainly shoulder checks, and other situations where shoulder checks are going to be necessary. So, pulling over some roundabouts, traffic circles, left, right turns, etc. So mainly it's a shoulder check video, but some lane changes in there too. So we're just going to get right into it. Okay, so first we are going to get into this mirror setup. So basically what you want to see is at least the back door handle. In this case, I'm seeing two, that's just the position on my phone as well. And then same thing on the right hand side. Sometimes you're going to see both door handles, but definitely you want to see the back one and the sliver of the car. Also pay attention to the cars that you can see in the mirrors right now. So, you can see that silver car on the right side, and then there's the black car, and then there's a silver Toyota up ahead. So again, you can see the silver car to the right, and then their black car and the silver Toyota to the left. Now, if you shoulder check, and that's where you shoulder checking into usually is those back windows, there's a blue car there, and then there's that Pontiac that you could not see in the mirror. So this is how you do your shoulder checks. Again, you mainly are looking into the back window, so you're looking outside your peripheral vision. So it's the area that you cannot see, like past your ears backwards, or anything that you cannot see in your mirrors, right? So that's basically what the purpose of the shoulder check is to cover the area that you cannot see outside your peripheral vision and in the mirrors. So left turn coming up here, signal, shoulder check into the left turning lane. You don't have to, but on your road test, I definitely would. And then green light, enter into the intersection, and then you're going to do your shoulder check as the cars are passing through, or at least as the last car is passing through. Shoulder check to the left. Once you have a safe gap, you're out of there. And then I'm going to be pulling over in just a second. So signal, shoulder check, pull over nice and close to the curb, and then secure your wheels in the according direction if you're up or downhill. Obviously, I'm not going to be parking next to that fire hydrant. Wheels to the right, and we're chilling. Now we're leaving. Brake, turn your wheels, signal, shoulder check, exit when it's clear. So never impede traffic. When you're leaving from the curb, you don't have the right of way. The other cars should not be stopping for you. It's your job to find a gap, the same way you do in a lane change, merging on the highway, anything along those lines. And when you're making the left or right turn, safe gaps. Same thing when you're pulling out. Signal, shoulder check as earlier. Pull over, park brake. In this case, I'm going to back up in a straight line a little bit. 360 check, looking over my right shoulder behind me. Park brake if you do so. Lane change, signal, shoulder check. I do check my mirrors first, so I should mention that you should be looking into. I use my rearview mirror a lot. So mirror, signal, shoulder check is kind of the order of things that, this is the way I prefer to do it. But as long as you shoulder check and you signal, whether you check your mirrors first, that's, it's not as important, but it would definitely make you a better driver. It would make you look better on the test, more competent, confident. Full stop, shoulder check to the right, inch forward. Obviously make sure that you're scanning intersections both ways as always, and off we go. So do those shoulder checks nice and early, but if you're stopping, make sure that you are doing them either right after stopping, on when you stop, or maybe just a little bit before stopping. But always do your shoulder checks before you start turning your wheels, especially before you exit out of the intersection. If you do them late, they don't count and they're useless, and you will fail your road test if your shoulder checks are not done properly. Making the left turn coming up here. So, a lot of people would shoulder check to the left here. It's fine. I don't like to do that personally. I would scan the intersection first, then do my shoulder check before I exit. There we go. And then, I'm out of there. And that was not a full stop, by the way. So that was a bit of a rolling stop. I think this is going to be a right turn. There you go, right shoulder check. So I do my shoulder checks, you know, you can call it late, but I do it right after stopping, but before I'm turning or exiting the intersection, right? If you want to, again, if you want to do them earlier, that's fine. Again, turning to the right. I'm always pre-turning my wheels when I'm creeping forward, shoulder check. And then I'm checking my mirrors. If you notice the top video, I'm checking my mirrors very often, pretty much after every single turn. That's just a habit I have, and that's what I teach my students. Left turn, you don't have to shoulder check on these left turns with green arrows. You can. Sometimes you will lose a point actually, because some examiners are really picky. Shoulder check, making a lane change. So, you know, I would recommend doing them even on the left turns, but they're not necessary, let's say. Lane change after the intersection. So signal, shoulder check, again, checking my mirrors first. So I'm not going to say that. Maybe I should. Mirror, signal, shoulder check. I do rely, again, on my rear view mirror a lot. You can check your side mirrors too. I use my side mirrors definitely a lot less than my rear view. So get in the habit of checking your rear view mirror, you know, at least 8 to 10 seconds or so maybe. Lane change. So mirror, obviously, I got to stop saying obviously. Mirror, signal, shoulder check, move over when it's safe. When you're making the lane change, it's a gradual move. You're not turning, you're not making a rapid, you know, you're not swerving. So make sure that your lane changes are nice and smooth and steady. Again, shoulder check, pre-signal, pre-shoulder check, mirrors rather. Next, making a left turn. In this case, I'm yielding to the car. So again, I'm going to do my shoulder check as the last car is pretty much passing through the intersection. There we go. And off we go. If you want to do them earlier, that's fine. But if you're going to sit there for a long time, it's better to do it at the proper time. Shoulder check, going into the side street or an alley in this case. So yes, you are going to be shoulder checking, especially on your road test, into the alleys, out of the alleys, into the parking lots, out of the parking lots, etc., etc. Making a right turn here. If you are turning your wheels and you're signaling, you should be doing your shoulder checks. Creeping forward, again, presetting your wheels as you're entering forward. That'll give you more visibility and make your turn better. And then we are going to be pulling over here. So same thing. If you're pulling over, check your mirrors, at least signal, and then shoulder check. If you're not in the habit of checking your mirrors, you know, as often as I am. It's just depending on experience. And then when I'm pulling out, same thing. I'm relying on my side mirrors in this case, because you can see the furthest distance back with them. Shoulder check, make sure that your signal is on before you exit. So always signal. You know, signal for all situations. Again, I teach my students to signal all the time. Doesn't matter if you're in the parking lot or on the road or in the alley. Right turn, pre-shoulder check, pre-signal. Left turn coming up, check your mirrors, signal, shoulder check. Or at least signal, shoulder check if you don't check your mirrors. Again, you don't have to check your mirrors as often as I am, or even, you know, I'm not checking my mirrors for every turn either. So that's fine, but do get in the habit of checking your mirrors as often as possible. In these cul-de-sacs, I did make a video on cul-de-sacs. So again, you're going to be doing a right signal, right shoulder check, left signal, left shoulder check. So if you guys are paying attention again to the top screen, you can see the timing of my shoulder checks. Left turn. Oh, right turn. My bad. Yeah, I'm not looking at both screens. Believe I'm making a right turn here. So again, I'm going to creep up, turn my wheels a little bit to the right. Then I'm doing my shoulder check. Still looking to the left for traffic a little bit. So now I'm yielding to traffic. I'm probably going to do another shoulder check before I leave. So if you're stopping for, you know, X amount of time, do a double shoulder check, because the situation next to you or in your blind spot could have always changed. So, you know, better safe than sorry. And after those turns, again, get in the habit of checking your rearview mirror. Nice and early shoulder check. I'm not stopping here. Green light, guess what? I'm stopping. And you should be stopping in those situations. If you keep going in this case, you can actually fail your road test. I mean, unless you're truly at a point of no return. Shoulder check, and we are gone. Right turn, red light, cyclist on the left-hand side. Now it's green. Scan, shoulder check, and turn into the lane that is closest to the curb or closest to you, let's say. Because if you don't, it's going to be a problem. Lane change again. Check your mirrors, shoulder check, signal, and move over when it's safe. If the examiner asks you to make a lane change, they usually say when it's safe. That's kind of what I do with my students. Yes, again, you are shoulder checking into those left turning lanes. Another shoulder check here before turning, going into the lane that's closest to the center. Lane change coming up here. Now you can do a lane change here or after the train tracks. Definitely don't do it over the train tracks. Scanning both ways. Next, I'm slowing down here actually for these emergency vehicles, fire trucks. So, you know, I'm going probably 35-ish maybe. Right turn, right shoulder check, nice and early. Signal early. Not too early, but early enough. Half a block, you know, 40 to 50 feet, let's say. Maybe a little bit more. Left signal. I'm making a left turn here. I'm waiting for the pedestrian. Obviously, if I'm going to make a left turn, I'm not going to be going in the traffic circle when there's a pedestrian crossing. Left shoulder check, and on to the next adventure. I believe next one's going to be a right turn. Also, this intersection where I'll be making a right turn, you see there's that arrow over there. So in that case, you may not be given directions. You will be making a right turn as the arrow points. So you can only make a right turn here unless you're a cyclist, I believe. So scanning, inch in, shoulder check, and we are grooving. Again, if you want to do your shoulder checks a little bit earlier, that's fine. But if you're at a stop sign or any situation where you stop for a long time, do another shoulder check. I believe left turn coming up here, left shoulder check, no one to yield to. So I'm just going right through, no stopping. Left turn and a shoulder check. I believe a right turn coming up here, so right shoulder check. Again, I do my shoulder checks pretty early on these turns, so when I'm not stopping, I do them nice and early. If I'm stopping, I'm doing them, you know, after pretty much when I'm, you know, right after stopping. Giving each other lots of space there, or enough space to pass through safely. A right turn coming up. And yeah, it happens. So a lot of students ask me, you know, what to do in this situation is, you stop. I mean, you can't have two cars going into, again, into like a bottleneck or into the same spot. It doesn't work. Someone's gonna have to hit someone else. So don't do that. Right turn, early shoulder check, Nice and early signal. Again, if you want to check your side mirrors on these turns, that's fine. I use my rear view mirrors specifically. And, you know, as you do these shoulder checks, as your head is going around, or, you know, from center to left or right, you should be checking your mirrors or your side mirrors kind of in that process anyway. So it's just all about exposure and experience, right? Pulling over, in this case, again, signal, mirror, shoulder check, or mirror, signal, shoulder check. Your shoulder check should always be pretty much the last action. You know, whether you signal first or look into your mirrors or vice versa, that's fine, but your shoulder check should be the final action before you commit to your turn. So a little bit of a longer video, but I hope that it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.